everyone. Today I wanted to do a video that's a little more educational. Long story short, I've been going on like a gazillion trillion interviews. I did end up getting a job, so I wanted to do a little tips and tricks on what I kind of learned along the way, what research I did, what makeup I wore, kind of little tidbits on the dress code that I did, what kind is acceptable, what is not. So as I'm doing my makeup, I'll be kind of going down the list of things that I kept in mind and how I prepared for it and things of that sort. I'm gonna try and make this as quick as possible. The makeup is really honestly pretty damn simple. I don't even use actual eyeshadow. Pretty simple, pretty basic. So I'm gonna throw on a sweater. I'm kind of cold. Just in case Becky's watching this video, thanks for the sweater that's been at my house that I have not worn since that party. But anywho, so obviously I want to prep my face. So I'll be using the Lancome Energy DV. Still don't know how to say that. Is that the right way to say it? Who the hell knows? Okay, so now that that's down on my face, I want to moisturize. I'm going to be using the Origins Matte Moisturizer with Willow Herb, kind of the same stuff I've been using. I have not been doing any kind of priming. I just kind of moisturize my face, give myself a base that way, and then I go in with foundation. So I really have been wanting my skin to look really, really smooth and nice and flawless. So I've been using the Shiseido Synchro Skin. I will link my review on that above and below, but I'm just going to go do 3 spritz. Maybe slightly 4. I'm going a little ham right now. And then use a beauty blender to blend it out, of course. So from what I've gathered, my #1 tip, and that honestly is almost a proven fact, pretending like you wear glasses. So that is how I got my first job right out of college. So I've been also doing this second time around that I'm doing interviews. Kind of like, I don't know if it's like a fact, but it kind of in a way makes the person that's interviewing you feel and think that you're smarter than you actually are. It's like a nice little thing to do for yourself to kind of have someone take you more seriously. Kind of like for males, if you gray earlier, people tend to feel like you have a lot more experience and that you're older. So for concealer, I am using the Age Rewind. You know, you don't want to walk into an employer and just have a cake face of makeup. You want to look nice and fresh and approachable and just like you are gonna be the sunshine of the office. So dress code wise, a lot of people say, oh, professional shoes only. I don't have professional high heels. I think 1 to 2 inch heels are disturbing. So I've been wearing 3 to 4 inches. Obviously, they're not stripper shoes. They are pointed, mellow colors. One is like a dark purple. The other ones are black. They don't have any pizzazz to them really. They're simple. They're both made out of suede, so they're not shiny. I didn't have any problem with employers looking at me like I'm some kind of hoo-ha. I think that's something that a lot of people say you should worry about, but I think that as long as you look presentable and your shoes honestly aren't screaming like that you do something on the side late at night, you should be okay. You don't have to go out and purchase something. If you don't have heels that are under 4 inches, I would say go with flats. It might not look as flattering, but it works. And then I don't have any classical suits or pencil skirts. Most of my stuff is more fashionable. So my pencil skirts are high-waisted, a little bit longer, a little bit tighter. And then my jackets also are more of a boyfriend fit. They're not tight, they're not short, which I actually went out and bought a plain black blazer, but that's still a little bit longer, a little more stylish, I think, than the regular. I did wear black high-waisted suit pants, and I honestly did not have any problems where any employer was like, oh my god, she's like way too weird. And for one of my interviews, I did wear a blazer that was black and white stripes, so it was a little more out there, and that employer still called me back. I didn't think that my clothing was really a problem. I think that you can wear whatever you have as long as you look put together like you try. Don't wear any kind of crazy bright colors. Don't wear chunky jewelry. Don't wear open-toed or backless shoes. Obviously try to look as conservative as possible, but if you like to put a little bit of a jazz on what you wear, it's not as toned down. Most companies look for you to be professional dressed, but not to where you're wearing a full suit or anything of that sort. They just want to see that you're putting an effort in yourself and you want to present yourself in a certain way. As for makeup, like I said, I went pretty natural. Didn't wear any bright lips, didn't do much with the lashes or eyeshadow. Eyebrows were obviously very normal. So yeah, so I did set my face with the Laura Mercier. Nothing new there, and I am going to contour with my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour shades, and then this is my new holy grail. I can't do my contour without it. This is the NARS Ita brush. So I'm just gonna go and do a little bit of bronzing. I did not go crazy with anything that I did. I did very minimalistic, just kind of played up my features, and this brush just blends like a dream. As for shirts to go with your outfit, some of the days I wore Portofino shirts, or I did wear turtlenecks a lot of the time since it is kind of chilly out, and I don't think that anyone frowned upon my turtleneck. Obviously a lot of my pants were high-waisted, so I would tuck the whatever shirt I wore, I would tuck that in. And honestly, I refrained from doing much contouring to the bottom of my face to save time. But for eyeshadow, like I said, didn't even use eyeshadow. I went ahead and used my contour shades. So with the bigger, fluffier brush, I went in with the lighter color, and then with the darker color, I kind of deepened up the crease. I would take a big fluffy brush, kind of throw this in here. Never spent more than like 5 minutes on my eyeshadow, really quickly. Adds a little more dimension to your eyes, and since it is a contour powder, oh my god, this blends out like a damn dream so quickly. First color down, and then I'll take a smaller little blender brush like this, dip into the darker shade, and kind of dip this into the corners a little bit more. I would wake up about an hour to an hour and a half before the interview, obviously excluding drive time. And I would just do my makeup, kind of get dressed, and go out the door. I never ate in the mornings when I have things that are going to make me nervous because that makes my stomach hurt. So I would just go do my interview and then come back home and eat. What I also did with the eyeshadow is whatever was left on this little brush, I kind of dabbed it all over my lid just to give it a nice kind of deeper color, and then put this on the bottom lash as well, do a little bit of the darker color, and then I'm going to take a little small shadow brush and take the lighter color. I'm going to smoke out this. You can honestly do this with any brush you have. I'm doing it with brushes that are the closest to me. And for mascara, I was doing the Voluminous Million Lashes. And I don't even know who are you by? L'Oreal. The last interview that I had, I used the medium brown brow powder duo by Anastasia. I had forgotten how much I love this product. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I stopped using it and went into pencils. I love this ish. So I'm gonna use the darker side with my Anastasia 12 brush to really kind of define the shape, and then fill in the tail with the darker color, and then in the front I use the light color and wispy out. And this powder makes your eyebrows so fast. Because I was interviewing, obviously, I didn't want my eyebrows to be Instagram brows. Not that I ever do that, but I want them to look good and not sparse, but also not chunky and super done up. As always, I do set my eyebrows so that they're not crazily moving around. So if you don't know what to do with your hair, you don't have to pull it back. I had my hair down each and every interview. It was either straight or curly, it doesn't matter. You can pull it back, you can have it in a bun. You obviously maybe not a messy bun, kind of more an uptight bun. You can have it down, you can have it half up, half down. There are a lot of styles that you can do for interviews. But if you have your hair down, and I have a big problem with this, I love to play with my hair, as a lot of people have seen in my videos. I'm constantly moving it out of the way, moving it in my face. I'm just that type of person. I mess around with my hair a lot. And knowing that for interviews, I just always tucked it behind my ears and kept it like this. When I have it like this, I don't mess around with it. When a lot of people get nervous, their, safety zone is to touch their hair, to twirl their hair or anything like that. If you think that you can't handle that, have your hair up. For my lipstick, I am using Bite Beauty in the color Kava. I kind of went, I kind of went between Pure Hollywood by Anastasia and this. This I feel like is just so much easier. It gives me a lot more hydration. And the color is a little, I feel like slightly interesting, but it's not overpowering. It's still a nude. It doesn't shift around. It makes your lips feel good. It doesn't make your mouth look dry. And obviously I would set my face with some the Urban Decay All-Nighter. This is my holy grail. As for how to prepare for an interview, you always want to have a couple of resumes printed depending on how many people you're going to be interviewing with, but sometimes they don't tell you. They're just like, hey, come in for an interview. So I always have 2 to 3 with me. Always know a decent amount about the company that you're going to interview for. It looks good on your behalf to know what job you're going in for anyway. They want you to know a little bit about the company because that shows that you are dedicated and that you are, you prepare well, you look ahead of time, and that you have some kind of answer as to why you would fit within the company. I would also say that it's very, very, very important to prepare for a couple of questions. So what is your biggest weakness? What is your best asset? What can you provide for the company? Which also plays into knowing what the company is. And then I think one of the most important ones is going to be, what is your 5-year plan? A lot of the time what I say is I want to grow within the company. I want to grow as a person. I want to be investing in something that's going to invest back in me. Another really important question that they ask, not at every interview as well, what is the biggest mistake you've made and how you have handled it in the past? And then also they kind of like to ask why you left your last job. You would never want to say anything negative about your past employer. You want to, even if your experience was so awful that you want to say that they're the worst company ever, it's best to say, we just had our differences, it wasn't the right fit for me. You don't, kind of backlashing at a past employer makes you look bad. And a lot of the times what I say is I didn't have enough growth in the company. I felt stagnant. I want to learn more. I want to evolve more. Obviously, like I said, I did wear these trusty glasses. And also, last tidbit, if you are really, really about a certain job, I would say sending a thank you card or an email is a must. If they say we're gonna make a decision within the next day or so, I would say send an email. Like 70-something% of employers do accept emails. But if you know it's going to be a couple of week process, then definitely send a handwritten note and just say, thank you for your time. I appreciate you explaining this to me. Thank you for seeing me. Maybe you can kind of slide in there why you're a good fit. Try to keep it under 2 paragraphs. And then you can kind of slip in there as well of how you really would want to work with the team and things of that sort. Interviewing can be stressful. Reward yourself for every interview that you do. Buy yourself a coffee, buy yourself a piece of cake, anything to make you kind of feel more relaxed after it or before it. And also don't be afraid to say no if the job is not the right fit for you. Try to kind of, if you know a job's not the right fit for you, try to do it as early as possible to not waste their time. Leave it on good terms. And if you are telling an employer that you don't want to work for them, make sure to say it in a nice and a kind way. Don't just not show up for the next interview or something along the lines of that. I hope that this honestly helps you because I know how stressful it can be. I've been doing it for a while. And just don't get discouraged. There are a lot of people looking for jobs and there are not a lot of jobs available. So just keep your head up, keep trucking through. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope this helps and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.